This isn't a photo anymore. I refer to this as my avatar, as you can tell. Hi, everybody. I made one note this evening, which was navigating the chaos. Somebody over there mentioned it, which could be a good alternative title for this. So, a small window into how I think about leadership development. It's been a strange few years, really, for everybody and for us in learning and development. Post-pandemic transition, economic crisis, changes to the nature of work, and all the usual kind of organisational change stuff creates, intense uncertainty. And situations of uncertainty can leave us feeling, as Jack Mesereau, the founder of Transformative Learning, said, with a kind of disorienting dilemma. And when we feel disoriented, it's really important that we find our feet again and get our sense of direction. I have done some research over the years looking at how people respond to situations of complexity. And from that, steadily developed my model of coaching and learning and development, which helps leaders to make sense of their problems and find practical ways to address them. Now, traditional models of leadership tend to focus on things like the character of the leader, so charismatic leadership, or the doing of leadership, so things like situational leadership. I think about things more in terms of the experience and identity of the leader. So my model focuses on looking at the relationship between three different things: person, practice, and perspective. Person relates to the unique identity and history of the leader. Practice relates to the job in hand, our performance, so what I'm doing. And then perspective relates to the context and environment that we're operating in, so where am I? And helping leaders to think about this stuff enables them to think about, build their self-knowledge and knowledge of the situations that they have been in before, and to help them deal with new situations as well, and hopefully to build a more robust and coherent sense of identity. So, I'm going to give you a very brief example using my experience on stage today. When I was first invited to do the talk, it brought back lots of memories of being on stage in the past. This is not a current photo, obviously. This is me in my first leading role. As you can see, I look a little bit grumpy. I've got a bit of an ambivalent relationship to being on stage. I like performing, but I really hate being seen. So, who we are, our personal history, has a big influence on how we kind of show up and experience new situations. So how I am today is obviously influenced by my experiences of being on stage in the past. The second element, what am I doing, is really, as I said, about thinking about the job in hand. We can ask ourselves what we're doing and how well equipped we are to do it. So I've had experience of being on stage in the past, but no real kind of formal training. So that works okay for me, but in challenging situations, obviously I can end up feeling a little bit exposed. That's not a photo of me, but that is my hairstyle from about 30 years ago. When we feel disoriented, often it's because we have things going on outside of our awareness. So it's really important to pay attention to our professional blind spots and build our confidence and capabilities. And finally, the question, where am I? Thinking about the wider perspective. So thinking about context and environment and how that's influential on us is really important. There's obviously lots of influences on me up on stage today. Lavinia and Ioana's expectations of me as my stakeholders, the culture of Offbeat, the physical environment here at Netflix, and you, an audience of learning and development professionals. This is really quite a complex relational experience, but I think by breaking it down in this way, it helps us to put things into perspective. So by asking myself, before I came up on stage. Who I am, what I'm doing, and where I'm doing it helps me to settle and feel more grounded, and therefore hopefully